traders, welcome, and just doing an update here, midday 1 o'clock UK time on the 10th of March. So you can see how this is the FTSE on the daily chart. So the 1, 2, 3 wave move into this ambush zone, and we pulled out of it into this resistance level here yesterday on the 9th. At the moment we are just pulling back. So if we pull back and hold into yesterday's bullish move, we could then make it way up to 7,400. Otherwise, if all we do is close under here, then we run the risk of just scaling down again. Okay, so at the moment we are just holding up into this support. So we're in no man's land here at the moment. We've hit this resistance level. So if, like I said, it's all about if we can close underneath this 7,028, then we're lower. If we can hold up here and subsequently close above 7,200, then we can recover and go back up. What do I think is going to happen? I think we're going to stay here for a few days, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then potentially start to drop lower again. This is a severe drop. We've not properly tested the 64.75 area yet. If we stay in here, then I think the risk is we're lower. And having broken down like this at the moment, and particularly under this chart pattern here, I have to say I would expect that to be lower. Right now, yesterday we saw a quite spectacular, on the early part of this week, we've seen a decent move off of this extension support here on the DAX. So this is 2021 lows here at 250. If we hold the 250, then we could potentially go back to 14.5. So maybe this DAX is telling us that we can hold here and we can eventually grind our way back into there. And of course, as you expect me to say, if we close underneath this 250, then we are coming lower, and we may even sink all the way to 11.5, 11,300. Right, let's have a look at the Nikkei before I look at the US. That is down on these extensions, and it is not coming up. It's not pulling up. Hence the reason why I'm somewhat bearish on the US markets. Nasdaq was the first into this sell, and so we'd started to sort of significant sell on the 22nd of November. We failed at the back end of 2021, and here we are. 2021 lows are down here at 12,200, and we're only 13.5. So if this is a buying pattern, then and we can't expect high numbers, then I would expect this to hold, and we would then have to close above. Well, I don't even need to draw that, because the crucial line here is going to be 13,950, 14,000. So we're pulling back at the moment into this nice move at the first half of the week. So we've got to hold. Volumes are picking up on this reversal, so if we are reversing and that market can hold up, then we can stand a chance of pushing up. It's Fed next week, next Wednesday, and then triple witching on the 18th. So I would expect these markets to dither and potentially get very range bound at this stage. And like I said, the path of resistance is lower at the moment. Right, gold had this huge run up to 2070. There's pullback yesterday. I would expect that to go back to the highs and start to climb up to 2,140, 150. Oil, very jittery move up here. So it galloped up to 128, pulled back to this support area, dipped underneath it yesterday. So if all we do is slide back into this big sell bar, we could wind up lower. What has happened with wheat? Wheat did this. It launched up, put in a big lower close, and then continued to climb. So if we stay above this 105, 108, I would expect it to get back to the highs and beyond. Because if you look at the weekly chart, so I think these pullbacks are viable. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's our weekly chart as we stand at the moment. So if we hover around here and at least close on the week at 111, 112, I think we can go and see 140. So I think like I said, I think these pullbacks are viable. Talking of commodities, let's have a look at these incredible commodities. So look at wheat. So wheat has had a humongous run up here. Let's get back to the daily. Huge run up. It's just backfilling. All these gaps down here. So we've got another gap there at 1060. I'd love to see that filled. At which point I think that can get back to the highs. Ukraine is a big producer of wheat. So I think I need to set an alarm for that pullback, because if that does backfill around the 1050 mark, then I need to get in. For some reason it's not. Oh, there we go. Okay, so gas. Yeah, so we keep hitting this resistance. This is cyclical, good old cyclical gas coming out of winter, heading towards spring. So gas is less and less important. It's been a fairly mild winter overall anyway. So I would expect this to drift back, and then it's going to start to be viable May, June time normally. Orange juice, I like the look of. Yeah, I still think orange juice is getting ready to push back up again. I think that is a huge trend line support. If that holds, which I believe it will, we're going to go back to the highs and beyond. I think we're heading for 118, possibly 20. I think that is a very, very bullish chart, and I would expect that to move higher. Stocks. So an update on BT. The BT's fallen. I was looking for 148, 150. We've seen 153, currently 170. I would still expect this to drop lower before it sets up again. Okay, so we had a situation back here in September. We dropped very low, we pulled back, and then dropped even lower. So I'm looking for that. I'm not in a rush. I'm not chasing this market. I would love to see 148. And I'm going to be patient to see if I can get that. Rolls is attempting to hold down here. Not impressed with the volumes. We have picked up on Monday, Tuesday. We need to see if we can stay in this pattern and rise above the pound mark. We could well come back to these lows again. We might well come back to those lows. We've got to see an increase in volume around here, otherwise this is lower. QQ, I took it off at around about the £3 mark. It did go as high as 317. This is pulling back. I don't know if it's going to do it, but I'd love to see 250, 270 again, at which point I will get back in. So it's blasted up. It's made a higher high, made a higher low down here, but I would love to see that creep back, and then I'll get in it. I'm just so short-termism at the moment. Interesting that some of these retailers, Boo has had an upgrade. This is ASOS. It has seen some increases in volume, but it's really struggling. Pfizer, I'm still liking. I think Pfizer is still building. Still time to get in. I'm looking for that to go back to those highs and potentially more. IQE is pulling right back into that support. Now, let's have a look at my card factory. Card factory dipped right into the open on Monday and then has picked up since. Okay, so we went right the way down there to about 38 and a half, currently 45. So I'm still in it, and I'm still looking for this to fail. We've hit resistance of that 46. I still think 30 is on the cards, but in hindsight, that I wasn't around on my screens when that dipped that low. It dipped right down there on the very open on Monday and then pinged high quite quickly. So I didn't have an exit order down there, so I wasn't able to capture it. But happy to stay short. I don't think I've seen some short covering down there, I think, but I think having tested this resistance, I think that's lower. Right, and the miners are doing okay, sitting up. That's I'm moving to 24, pulling back, sentiment, all doing well. If you're not in these, and we saw 97 on sentiment, was that yesterday, from a high of 111. See, we're pushing up in in a lot of these stocks, and then just yanking right back. Hochschild looks all right. Let's have a look at POG. Fresnillo is picking up, has picked up and stayed up. Yeah, POG is still right down there. It's almost it went under a penny, didn't it? Wow. Let's have a look at Polymetal. Yeah. Still really struggling. See how we had a push up into 360 and they just sold into it. So do be very, very careful if you're looking for reversals, because at the moment the highs are selling. It is very shaky out there. We're only 2 weeks into our war in Eastern Europe, so be very careful. Thanks. Barclays has gone under 145 and dipped up. I would still, I would try and get in at 145 down there. Lloyd's went right the way to 38. So again, I think we'll see some further dips. Got ECB today, haven't we? HSBA looks as if it's one that goes back, wants to go lower. Stands had a good move into support, but I would expect that to go lower before that starts to pick up. Okay, now let me have a look at look at the other retailers. Royal Mail Group. This is on my watch list to buy this. So we might well come down to the £3 mark. Yeah, I'm gonna hold out and see if we can come down to the £3 mark. If we come down to £3 and hold, then I would want to dip my toe in that water. You see, Money Supermarket, good move off the lows. So it's come right back to the support down there. Not quite touched that trend line low, but again, you went from 183 to 217 into resistance, and it's pulled right back again. So yeah, I think these resistance areas are great places to take profits in this environment. Right, let's have a look at, I've not put this in my watch list, but let's look at Elementis. because I'm starting to look at the volume coming in on this. So let's grab the 2021 high and low. Yeah, so I think this is, if we can come back to that area, then I would want to start to nibble on this. So I'd like to see it come down to potentially 89, 90, 95, at which point I would want to get in. What was the other one I posted? I've not figured them into my, oh, that was it, Gem Diamonds. A huge volume spike down here on Monday. Is it Monday? No, it's yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So let's have a look. That's the last move, which is all the way back down there in July 2020. So we're holding this ambush zone. So if we see 42 again, you may not see it because that's a huge volume in there. You may only see 45. So I am going to keep an eye on this. I'd love to see that dip back into there. You know, I'm going to set an alarm for 45, and potentially bid at 45. I think I'm going to bid at 45. I'm going to get a stop under this 40 because I think that could make a run. Because if we break out of this funnel pattern, we should see 56 and ultimately go back up to 78 on Gem Diamonds. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I want to look at. Let's have a quick look at some of the others. Boo, I mentioned Boo. Getting a decent volume spike on there. Hamilton is drifting lower. So let's come right into 29. Let's come right into that support. SEE, we've talked about this. Beginning to see some hefty volumes up there. If you're interested, I would bid on 7, but I will get out if it goes under 6. IAG struggling. Persimmon very volatile. I mean, even Facebook's just not doing it. And if Facebook can't do it, then what chance have the rest got? Where's PayPal? So I'm just flicking around. So I'm still very cautious, very short-termism, and at the moment the path of least resistance is still lower, so be careful out there. Alright, I think hedges, if you're looking to hedge your portfolio, you could short highs in the indices, buy dips in the gold, and potentially even dips in the oil, but obviously, yeah, they're all very volatile. You need to manage your risk at all time and make sure you've got real risk controls in place. Thanks for listening. Big review on Sunday, and I have a lot of distractions this week, but I am going to talk to you about the Premier Wealth Club ASAP. Brilliant. Stay safe. Have fun. Bye.